the memories of what went on, living in a border town, we heard the bombs go off. You got to see the rubble, you got to see the damage. That's where it came home. I knew of people that got killed or injured. At school, I remember it always happened in room 20. Room 20 was the chemistry lab, and the school that I went to was one of the old royal schools, dated back to 1614, and the building went back that far, and room 20 was in the old part of the school. And you came down from the new part of the school, there were some steps down, and you walked past lots of windows across a wooden corridor, and the windows had shelves in them with bottles of chemicals and everything else. And every time someone in one of my classmates lost a father, a mother, a relative, or whatever, they were always told in room 20. And that sticks with me. And we could always tell, because the headmaster would come out of his study, come down the steps, and at the bottom of the steps was where the wooden corridor started, and we could hear him walking. And he always wore his big cape, and that was flowing behind him. And he'd come to the door, and he'd knock on the door. He was always very polite, open the door, and say to the teacher, can I speak with Mr. Such and Such? And as he opened the door, you could see everyone who had a relative in the security forces, they just went white as they were sitting there. And then you saw, and I'll never forget the looks on different people's faces, you saw just the colour drain out of their faces completely, and them almost collapse whenever they hear that their name has been called out, and into the little prep room at the back. That was the headmaster telling them that they just lost their parents.
Wow.
or a relative. And that colours you, and that's one example of what goes on, and it colours your life, and you want to do something about it. I remember always wanting to do something about it.
So hence the step into the world that you went into.
Yeah, hence into the military. And at school with a cadet force, and I liked the cadet force.